Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, my name's Kristen and I'd love to have you a part of the family, so make sure you hit that red subscribe button right down below. Today's video is going to be all about my review and personal take on these Tarte Face Tape Foundation, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did do a poll on my Instagram, so if you're not following me on my Instagram, make sure to go follow me on my Instagram right now, and it's also linked down below in the description box, but go ahead and follow me there. As I was saying, I did do a poll on my Instagram. Again, go follow me on Instagram, and I was between doing a review on the Tarte Face Tape or the Morphe foundation. I did purchase both, so in a later video I'll probably go over my thoughts about the Morphe foundation, but yeah, this one won, so I went out and purchased the face tape, and we're just going to be talking about that today. So let's just jump right in. Alrighty, so this is the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. This foundation says that it's full coverage, has a flawless natural matte finish, and has infinite likes. Ooh, girl. And I got the shade Medium Tan Golden, and it's 37G if you guys were wondering. I probably tend to get my foundations a little bit darker than I am, so just keep that in mind. If you're similar skin tone as me, I'm usually to the like light medium range in skin tones and like foundations, if that makes sense. So yeah, this one I got to test out in the store and really like the shades. Again, I go towards like more golden, like warm tones. That's more my undertone. If you do have like more of a pink undertone or cool toned, they did have those foundations in store for you to test, so you'd be able to match your undertone to the foundation whichever way you go. So I'm going to go ahead and prime my skin as I've been priming it pretty regularly as of lately. So my top primers so far have been the Milani Prep and Brighten Rose Face Oil. This is like so amazing. I noticed like I do have oily skin, but whenever I do add like a very like moisturizing base, it feels like my foundation just looks 10 times better. So I've been using this, so I'm just going to apply like a couple dots, like not a lot at all. But I feel like it plumps my skin out. And yeah, I like oils now, so kind of weird. Never thought I would like oils, but I do. Just pat it into the skin. I just feel like my foundation goes on so much better. And especially because this is a matte foundation, I want to make sure that I have a very like plump base. I don't want any like dry, clingy patches, so I give it like a honest review. Now I'm going to go in with my Hangover RX primer by Too Faced. This is like one of my favorite primers. As you can tell, I'm pretty much out, girl. But that's okay. You can roll with it. I like this primer because it is hydrating. Again, doesn't give you any of those like dry, clingy patches or anything like that. And it like kind of stays like a little bit tacky, so like I feel like my foundation like sticks to it. So I really like that about this primer. And next is the Cover FX Smoothing Primer. Again, your girl needs to go shopping. She's out. This is like my favorite smoothing primer. It's not too silicone based, so I feel like it doesn't slip and slide on my skin, especially adding oil and all that, hydration. A lot of the like smoothing primers have a lot of silicone in it, which can make it a little slippery. Then it can make your foundation end up bunching up or building up. So as I'm going through putting this foundation on my face, I'm going to be talking to you guys about like what this foundation claims it does and all that stuff. But for right now, I'm going to judge the packaging. So I really like this packaging. It's like a hard plastic, it's not glass, which I think is good, especially for traveling and stuff, so you don't have to worry about like glass breaking in your like luggage and stuff like that. It's really cute. The top has like purple accents. It's gold as well. It does come with a pump, and it's like kind of like a larger foundation size to me. And it comes with 1.014 fluid ounces. So like a little scoop more than the regular amount 1 ounce foundations usually come in, so that's pretty nice. So to give it a fair review, I'm going to do half of my face with the Morphe M439. This side's going to go on with my beauty sponge. This one's also by Morphe, and I love it because it has this flat bottom, so I can beat the face, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting out with this. I'm just going to do one pump and see how far that gets me. I'm full coverage, so I like a cake face, so we'll see where this goes. This foundation retails for $39, which is which is a fairly good price. It's like typical. I think it's, you know, for Tarte, it's like a high-end foundation and a high-end brand, so I think it's pretty typical. We'll see if it's worth $39. It is exclusive to Ulta, so you will have to get this foundation at Ulta. Go ahead. I'm going to add just a little bit more so I can get like the coverage I want. That was like maybe a half a pump. So obviously the name sounds like the concealer Tarte came out with, which is the Shape Tape Concealer. So it was inspired by the Shape Tape Concealer. Everybody loves the Shape Tape Concealer. I like it a lot, but I'm not a huge concealer person. Like, I like an under eye highlight, but not like, I don't need it. You know what I mean? I have like a blemish here, and that is like covered, nowhere to be seen. Who was that even? You know what I mean? So this says it has a 12-hour power. We'll see about that. So, and it says it's obviously vegan. Tarte is vegan. Hypoallergenic, 24-hour hydration. It's a matte foundation, but it claims to have a lot of hydration qualities to it, which I don't know about that. As far as this side goes, it does like have a more like satiny, dewy finish. So we'll see about that mattifying claim. I feel like this side is slightly, very slightly more dewy. That's one pump. I'm going to add like a half pump like I did on the other side, and just add it to the area I need it most. The color match I feel is good, and like in person it looks good. It says that it's matte, but I don't think it's matte at all. It might be my base, because I did use oil and a hydrating primer. So that is the full face done. This side's the Booty Blender side. This side is the N439 side. It's like pretty dewy, like for me. Like a matte foundation, like should stick onto my dry patches, which I don't have because I'm oily. So I don't know about the whole matte thing. I'm gonna definitely set this down because it does feel tacky still. Quite a bit of transfer still actually on my fingers. I'm gonna set this and do my normal routine after I do my foundation, but I am going to do my concealer routine with it because I'm going to be using the Shape Tape Concealer to see how they interact with each other, because, you know, if this is a bomb foundation, then you should use it with the bomb concealer they have, right? So I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and this is in light neutral. Whenever I do concealer, I want it highlighted. I want you to see me coming from a mile away, so. So I'm going to set that concealer that we just put down with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. I'm going to powder the rest of my face, and I usually use the Lancome Dual Finish powder. This is a very full coverage powder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, do the rest of my makeup, and then I'll check in with you guys a little bit later to let you guys know my thoughts throughout the day so you guys can see what I think about this foundation. So it's been a couple hours and I finished the rest of my makeup, and I feel like it looks really good so far. I do think I'm getting a little bit of like oiliness on my chin, which is usually where I get oily, is my nose and my chin first. I can tell that. I don't think it's a matte finish at all. Again, I had to set it, and I had to set it hard. And yeah, so far it is good. I think it is good for kind of like an array of skin types. So if you're dry, normal, oily, or combination, I think you can make this foundation work. You would just have to do like the necessary steps, like setting your face. If you're oily, if you're dry, you're gonna love this. If you have a combination kind of skin tone, I got some texture, but I don't really feel like it emphasizes it or anything. Like the scarring that I have is fairly covered. But yeah, I did add an extra layer of powder, so just keep that in mind. I do set with a powder foundation because I want to be a drag queen. So yeah, right now on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 8. I'll see you back in maybe a couple more hours and give you my final thoughts. Alrighty, so it's been another few hours, and this is how the foundation is looking. So I did touch up a little bit because I had to take some pictures. I have to touch up with pretty much any foundation I use. I haven't found a foundation that I can't, like, you know, I can go the whole day without touching up. I have to anyway, so I don't really count anything against that. This foundation is not matte. I would not call it a matte foundation. It's dewy to a satin finish. So just keep that in mind. If you are oily, you will have to touch up and everything like that. It was like breaking up here on my nose, which is kind of a problem area for me anyways, but still, you know, foundations aren't really supposed to do that. So just keep in mind, I don't know if it was like, I don't know why it was like breaking up here. And then around my mouth is a little bit of breakage too. It could have been because I was eating, but other than that, everything went on very smooth. Like my bronzer, contour, highlight, everything went on really good. I like it. I have a couple in my collection that I like more, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this an 8 still. I think after many hours and after me eating and cooking dinner and, you know, sweating or whatever I do, it still looks really good. So your girl's out here looking cute. I think this foundation looks good on my skin. Definitely go check it out, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Hey, yo.